Hello, and thank you for tuning in to today's Access to Advocacy. I'm Shavonne Reed, the chair of the Dunwoody Perimeter Chamber, where our mission is advancing the economic prosperity of all. Today, we have Ardy Bastien. Hi, Ardy. How are you?
Hi, Shavonne. How are you?
I am doing excellent. Long time no see. How about those braids? I wore my red today.
Oh my God, that's great. I still can't believe the position that we were in the World Series, and then we won. And
Yes,
the last game, 7-0. I mean, what a finish, you know? I mean,
absolutely.
everyone knows that we kings now. That's it.
Yes, this is so exciting for the city. I remember being a young girl when we won the first time, and just to see it happen all over again, and for my daughters to experience it being an Atlanta native is just so phenomenal. My grandfather was a huge Braves fan, and I remember sitting and watching the TV with him as we watched the players play.
Oh, it's great. I know. Daughter's school, they have a half a day tomorrow, and a lot of parents have the option of staying or going virtual just because of the parade. So it's an excitement.
Oh yes, our girls are out of school, so they're pretty excited about that.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's great. It's great. I think we deserve it. Atlanta deserves it.
We really do, and I'm so grateful. Now tell me, you work and play in Dunwoody, right?
I do. I do. I think I'm one of the I'm an exception on that part. So
Uh-huh.
because yeah, I do. I live in Dunwoody. I work. The office is a whole 7 minutes from the house.
Mhm.
And the interesting part is the makeup of Dunwoody. When I'm in my neighborhood, it looks as if it's a dream away from the city, tree line street. Then when I get to my office, it looks as if you're in downtown of any city.
Mhm.
And of course, as far as playing, forget it. We've got so many restaurants and so many things to do in the city. You need not even leave the city if you don't want to, at least.
Yes, that's so true. And there are so many restaurants that are coming here or that's been here. So you never run out of something to explore or a new place to venture off to, right?
Right. And the other thing, what surprised me, Sean, is I noticed how many restaurants opened up during the pandemic,
Mm-hmm.
and they're thriving. One restaurant, I mean, like Novo, that was there before. I think the pandemic maybe helped them in a way because they figured out how to cater to the outdoor, and
Yes.
I've just seen that part of it blossom. But there's a lot of new restaurants that just came out, and we're lucky. We could just keep going from one to the other. You don't only pick the type of cuisine, but you could pick what your palate desires in one day or the other. So
That's
it's
so
nice.
true.
Mm.
I actually had a chance to get out to Vibe After Five on Monday, and I tried fish tacos for the first time. And oh my gosh, I never would have thought that I would say, I like these, but Cinco has fish tacos, and everybody needs to try them.
It's true, and I've had those. I've had those, and they are amazing. Yeah, I've had them. I've learned to like fish tacos as well. Yeah.
So now that this election is behind us,
hmm
tell me, what should the community expect?
It's. I think what happens during an election, people get excited because of the candidates, and they get excited because maybe there's an unknown. But actually, after the election, that's really when things start to come together. Because right
Mhm.
now, it's about working. If you were just elected, you've got to prove to your constituents that you're actually going to deliver. And if
Right.
you actually wanted to do something, okay, it's time for you to do things. But I think to answer your question, I think first of all, you're going to see the council and the government more focused. So a lot of the things that were delivered, like we know we're working on a lot of parks in Dublin. I mean, as we speak right now, we're working on two different parks that were already slated and that we're trying to make happen.
Mhm.
Like the one that's off of Roberts Drive, the new park that we have off of Roberts Drive. The Dunwoody Nature Center is always getting better and better, but we also have on the other side you have the new park that's not too far from the farm, the Dunwoody
Mhm.
Barrels and stuff. Right around the corner, there's another park there, So things like that will start to come to fruition. And
Mhm.
also, we should see a lot more community events are happening. For example, I don't know if you knew when the Braves, one of the Braves games, we set up like a big screen so that people were able to watch. Well, it rained, but but things like that, you should see more things like that. That's going to give more of a sense of community. Um, and we've got a couple new commissioners, two commissioners, and that give promises and that we're already working for the community a bit. So we should be able to see a lot of, not only get to know them, but see some of the promises that they made.
Mhm.
And towards the year end, we just passed a new budget for the next year. So that's about probably about the last council. So with that, we should be on par to focus on making those things happen as well.
Okay. Now tell me, what are some of the key learnings that you've taken away from serving on the council over the past few months?
It's interesting. It was totally different than I thought.
Hmm.
Um, Dunwoody, although we have become a little bit more contentious than 2008 when we started the city,
Uh-huh.
in that you could see more politics, but that politics that puts aside once people get elected. It's really a city where people collaborate. Even when we have difference of opinion, the council, they they talk about things. If a resolution passes that's against what you actually wanted, you just learn to get on board and support your colleagues and support the city. In addition to that, you'll see a lot more things. I've learned a lot more than your average individual would think. Because I was thinking that it would be an atmosphere where um, not only there'll be contention, but also that'll be hard for me to be able to get things done. But no, people listen to me. The
Hmm.
city staff members they'll sit with you on an individual basis if you want to explain certain things. Um, and I also learn how government works, which a lot of times you don't think about, just the intricacies of the things that you have to deal with.
Hmm.
Aside from just budget, you've got to make sure that the city's clean, that it's protected, that the police is protected, that we have employees that not only care but that delivers, and
Hmm.
that there's certain things like I'm on this district one. There are things that people in the other parts of the city they don't see. But since
Hmm.
it's my neighborhood and my constituents, I'm able to bring those things to the city.
Hmm.
And my constituents, my people, they'll email to me directly. And so I would relay their concerns to the city council directly. I mean, it's a great feeling that you're actually the bearer or you're the speaker for a community. And
Hmm.
people learn to just not embrace it, but they learn to rely on you. One of the things that we've done recently, probably about maybe 3 or 4 weeks ago, we were able to get an agreement between some of the neighbors at the branches at the Dunwoody Park with the Dunwoody Village owners for the future. They're worried about the buffer and then they were worried about what's going to happen. Well, we got together, we spoke, and we came to an agreement as opposed to litigation and things like that. Those are
Right.
exciting things and things that you learn, and you never thought before that you would be actually involved in things like that.
Hmm. Okay. So, with the new incoming council,
Hmm.
what would you say is the one thing that needs to happen in order to energize the area even more?
Well, there's never enough um, touching or getting acquainted with your people.
Hmm.
So with the new council, the new council has to get together more with the people of Dunwoody, with their constituents, to be able to understand what their needs are, and also to continue to make this place a place that you want to. We have the work part. I think it's becoming
Hmm.
we are a premier business area.
Right.
From being in the chamber, right? But to get people connected more, we have to send the message out that this place has that connection. About the arts, talking about the park we're working on, making it better, making it seem as if you don't really need to go anywhere. Not that we're getting selfish, but you could stay here
Right.
and get to do everything that you need to do,
Mhm.
including entertaining, inviting people to come here as a destination and stay in our hotels as opposed to anywhere else. We're not that far from Midtown, downtown, or what it is.
Mhm.
But that message needs to grow out because that way Dunwoody would shape itself as a premier destination place.
Right. Okay. Now, how can people reach you who are watching now and have something that they want to share?
Well, they could always email me at
Mhm.
Ardy Bastien, that Bastien at Dunwoody, GA.gov.
Mhm.
And if you call City Hall or you call me, uh, I'll get in contact with you. But email is the best for me. So if you want to email me, I'll reply. If I don't reply, there's something wrong. Send me another email. But I usually,
Right. Well, thank you so much for being here. I've enjoyed the conversation and our time together today. I really appreciate you and I appreciate your service for the city and everything that you do. And I'm looking forward to seeing you at the next ribbon cutting.
yes. Thank you very much, Shavonne. It was a pleasure.
Okay, well, thanks everyone for tuning in. And thank you again, Ardy, for joining us today. We'll see you on the next episode of Access to Advocacy.